Hi everybody.
Hello, I'm Ryan.
I'm Bethany.
And we are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews. Today we're talking about Bus! This is designed by Chris Handy. This is by Perplext, and it's one of the Pack-O games. So this is basically the size of one of those pack of gums. Super small. It's just 30 cards. But in this game, what you're going to get is you're going to get a pick up and deliver experience. Where you're taking these buses, dropping off passengers, picking up passengers, trying to score the most amount of points. Let me give you a quick overview of how to play. Alright, here's our setup for Bus. We have our 12 street cards that we're going to lay out in that configuration. We also have our passenger cards over here. There's going to be 2 face-up plus our deck. This can play either 2 or 3 players. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your bus and you're going to put it on a tile with a bus station. Alright, so let's just set up a 2-player game here. And also, the other thing we're going to do is we're going to draft one of these cards to start off with. That's going to determine our speed. If we were to draft this card over here, this is basically saying we have picked up these 2 customers. We need to drop off the orange and the pink passengers. This is going to be how many points we get at the top here. 4 victory points if we drop them off. And this is going to be how fast we can go. Alright, so what's going to happen is it's going to go in front of us. This is showing what customers we have. If it's on the left side of our play area, that's going to show that these are the customers that we have picked up but not yet dropped off. And if we move them all the way over here, that would show that that entire card is dropped off. If we have just one of those 2 customers dropped off, we would move it over halfway, or if it was orange, we'd flip that around and do it like that. Alright, so let's show what our turn looks like. We're basically going to pick up our bus, move 1, 2 spots. Alright, we passed the orange, and that means we dropped off the orange. You do not have to drop them off exactly on their spot. You don't have to stop your action or your movement exactly on that spot. As long as you passed it, you're good to go. Alright, so we did not finish off the card, so we just have the half that we did finish over towards the right half of our side. Alright, so then on our next turn, what we could do is we could go 1, 2. And now we finished the entire card. We were at that pink spot over there. We've dropped off our pink passenger. That card is now done. But we're going to need more than just that one card. So if you want to get more customers, you need to stop at a bus stop. There's these circles. There's 3 of them all over the board. If you stop on a bus stop, you're going to be able to get more cards. There's always going to be 2 available to you face up, or you can choose to take the face down card as well. So let's take this mystery card over here, and again we're going to put it on the left side of our board. This one's interesting because you get to move a whole lot in this one. This one says you have a speed limit of 5. It's only going to be worth one victory point, but it's going to be very easy to accomplish in 1 turn. Watch this. Because we have so much movement, we're going to be able to do this. 1, 2. There's our red passenger dropped off. 3, there's the whole card dropped off. We're even going to have enough to finish and go to another bus stop and pick up yet another card. If you ever start your turn without a card in front of you, you basically do not have a speed limit. You can go as far as you need to that turn. The game is going to end once one person has 5 of those routes completely finished, and at that point, every other player besides that player gets 1 more turn. And then what's going to happen is all of the points are going to get added up from the finished routes. If you have an unfinished or a half-finished route, it is not worth anything. Whoever has the most amount of points wins the game. You can have up to 3 cards that you're working on at a time over here on the left side, so you can have various cards in various stages of being dropped off. There's also this construction tile over here. There's a little construction symbol. Basically, whenever you land on that tile, you have the option of swapping the place of any 2 tiles. So for whatever reason, maybe you want to move something, a certain passenger or drop off spot closer to wherever you are, you can stop on that spot once per game, and you can rearrange the tiles, swapping 2 of them, and then once you've done that, you flip your card over to show that you've used that ability. Now there is an advanced version of the rules, which we definitely recommend once you've gotten used to the original rules, and that is, if you noticed, your bus is on one side of the street, and also all those circles are on a certain side of the street as well. The advanced rules are basically you need to actually be on the correct side of the street in order to drop off a passenger or pick up new passengers or whatever the case is. So you actually, if this car were going that direction, that bus, and it needs to pick up a blue, it's on the wrong side of the street, so you'd have to figure out a way to kind of puzzle around and kind of, well, it's hard to pick this card up. You have to pick it up and kind of figure out a different way to go around, so that way you'd be coming at it from this angle, and you can drop them off that way. Either way, the scoring remains the same. The first person to get 5 cards is going to trigger the end of the game, and then you add up your points. Whoever has the most points wins the game.
I thought it was pretty well balanced between the points and the speed. So the passengers that gave you a lot of points, you can't go really fast. You can't just like go get them, drop it off, and get new passengers. But the passengers that didn't give you a lot of points, you're able to move quickly behind. So it's just that little thing. I mean, that's basically the entire game right there. But I felt like it was pretty well weighted between the speed and the points.
I liked the advanced rules of this game that required you to be on the correct side of the street as the passengers. That gave you an extra little bit of puzzliness to it.
Yeah.
The first time you play, sure, play the base rules, but I enjoyed the challenge of having to be on the right side of the street and having to loop things around. It cost you a little bit more time, especially when you're at the slow speeds, but it's worth it. It's a fun puzzle.
And it didn't complicate the game. It just, like, it didn't make it more, it just made it more interesting. And I thought another thing that I liked, like all of these games, it's a really small package. This is definitely a coffee date game. You just put it in my bag and it's there, and it takes up like, I mean, you saw it takes up like that much space, and that's it. You could definitely play that. You could even have coffee with like a scone, because you still have the space.
All on that one coffee table.
All on that one coffee table.
I love it when games are just pure mechanisms, right? I was like, Ferment's Dominion for me is just a pure deck builder. There's no other things. There's no area control. There's no drafting. There's no fluff to it. It is a pure deck building game. This to me is a pure pick up and deliver.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to it. There's literally just picking up and delivering and trying to do that as efficiently as possible. To me, like Bethany mentioned, this is like a great exercise for like a game designer. It's like playing this. And just like, okay, so what else can I take as a mechanism and boil it down to its purest form, a purest pick and deliver form. And I thought this is a fantastic example of that.
There is a construction site on the board where you can rearrange the parts of the board, and all the times we played, I think we just forgot about it. We like never used it.
I think I just got lucky a lot of times. I didn't need it.
Oftentimes, like, you don't even think about it. You're drafting the tiles based on where things already are. And so I never used it. I never even thought about it. Even when I passed it and I could have used it and it would have benefited me, I had already like mapped out what I was going to do.
You guys, this was a blast. I've always been drawn to these Paco games. This bus is just, it's a super fun game. It goes super fast. The rules are incredibly easy to teach and learn. If you're looking for a 2 to 3 player game that can fit in your pocket, your purse, whatever, this is a great addition to those games. I had a blast with it.
Everybody, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so you can see our videos as they come out. Until then, you can find us in all of these places.
You guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.